Perception, Better Business Bureau, I only get a call from them when I have a problem with a customer or a complaint. Is that kind of the perception? Okay. So we want to overcome that perception. That's not what the BBB is all about. We do handle complaints, yes, but it's only like 1% of what we do in our organization. There's a lot of things we're doing more and more to be more business centric. So we're going to go over those today. We're going to cover the history of the BBB, how we started, where we came about, the things that we do, some free services we have to you, and then as a member, which we call an accredited business. So we'll cover those topics today. So, back in the 1900s, you had what was called snake oil salesmen, bad advertising going on. The person who kind of crusaded and started Better Business Bureau, we give credit to, is Samuel Dobbs, the president of Coca-Cola back then. They were in a courtroom case about the way they were advertising, and his attorney said, well, all companies, all consumers believe in some form of exaggerated advertising. And he realized back then that companies shouldn't advertise this way. They should be honest and ethical in the way they advertise to their consumers. So he created what was called the Vigilance Committee, a group of business owners that sat around a table like this, came up with what was called the 10 Commandments of Advertising. And years later, it turned into the Better Business Bureau. And so Better Business Bureau was never about complaints, never about membership back then. It was about setting standards to advertise honestly and do business the right way in the first place. So here we are 100 years later. We have over 90 offices throughout North America, and there's 5 offices in the state of Florida. Our office is here in Clearwater, Florida, right off US 19, and we serve all of West Florida, so we serve 11 counties. What does that mean? That just means that our office creates the profiles and the information on the businesses physically located in those 11 counties, okay? We serve consumers all over the world. Consumers come to bbb.org to get a report on a company before they do business with them, okay? So if a consumer is going to do business with a company up in New York, they would go to bbb.org, find that profile. All BBB offices share that information on that national database. So it's not just limited to the local BBB, just a local database. That way we can track companies across board on that. This is fun going back and forth. We are in your community. We are boots in the ground. That's what really separates us from the big companies out there, the Googles, the Yelps. We do a lot of similar services, provide information on businesses to help consumers make informed decisions about the business. Ultimately, that's what the BBB is here for, is an information source to help guide a consumer or a business to use us as a resource to check that company out, check that situation out, make sure they're dealing with a legitimate business, can they trust them, and make a decision to buy from them or do business with them. And we're going to hear today a little later about it's not just for consumers, it's also for businesses. There's many scams out there that affect small businesses like yourself, so you need to use BBB as a resource as a consumer business and do that due diligence as well, so you're not falling victim to scams just like consumers fall victim. We have many partnerships, so we work. So another background BBB, another misnomer is everyone thinks we're a government agency. We are not a government agency. We are a 501c6, not private, not-for-profit organization. Just like a Chamber of Commerce, we're supported by businesses in our community, like a membership. We call it accreditation. We'll get into that in a minute. But that's how we get our funding and our support. And we provide all of our service as a free service to the community for both consumers and businesses. So the impact we have on the marketplace is based on that consumer education. If we can educate consumers and businesses to make informed decisions, and they spend their money with the local legitimate businesses that they can trust, they don't spend their money with bad actors in the community, which unfortunately there are bad actors. There are bad businesses. There are legitimate businesses that just do bad business, that don't provide good service to consumers. But even more so, there's many scams out there in the marketplace that take advantage of consumers. They're generally not a business, they're usually fake. They operate overseas most of the time, and they're stealing billions of dollars from consumers in scams. So if we can educate consumers and businesses to make smart buying decisions, that money is going to steer back to the legitimate companies in the marketplace and avoid them from losing money from the bad actors. So when I said everyone thinks of us as a complaint organization, right? And complaints are only 1% of what we do. On a national level, the BBB does handle 1 million complaints a year. Locally in BBB West Florida, last year, we handled just a little over 24,000 complaints. Those are on companies here in the West Florida marketplace. So our office, our staff in our office in Clearwater specifically work with consumers 24,000 times handling complaints on local businesses. So it's a large number, but in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the reason why customers come to us, it's in the millions. Millions of consumers are coming to us to check a company out first before they actually do business with them and engage with them. The goal is they find the right company they can trust, whether they're accredited or not. We're going to talk about that. Make a good buying decision, and they don't have to come back to us to file a complaint. But complaints are not a bad thing. Complaints are an opportunity for a business. If something goes wrong with a consumer, we want to act as that impartial third party. Our goal is to bring the parties together, find a solution and a resolution between the consumer and the business, and the consumer walks away happy through that process. So let's talk a little bit more about those services. Business profiles is really where the numbers are at. So we provide what's called a BBB business profile, just like you have a Google profile on Google. And actually what we're finding right now is businesses that are trying to create business profiles, Google is giving you a checklist and asking you to at least get listed with the Better Business Bureau to finalize your Google business profile. So a lot of Google's, Yelp's, government agencies find great value in at least registering with Better Business Bureau, having a profile with us, because it gives credibility to your company, okay? The business profile is going to be specific about your business. It's going to be your business information. It's going to provide your business with a rating. Your business will have an opportunity to accept positive customer reviews. We do accept that now. If you get complaints, it will be in the profile. But if you have no complaints, they won't be there. But if you do receive a complaint, it reports the closure of the complaint. So if you address those marketplace disputes quickly, professionally, and in good faith, then the complaint gets closed as resolved. And that's what consumers see. And then we report the details of the customer complaint, the business response, and then that closure. So the information is there for consumers to read the outcome. So if you have one of those consumers that are just unreasonable consumers, if you're a business and you respond professionally and in good faith, it's going to show in that complaint. And future customers will read that and understand that you're a reputable business that's responsive to its customers. Okay? So that's another factor where complaints are not a bad thing with BBB. It's an opportunity to show that your business addresses issues with your customer, is responsive, and it shows in that profile. Okay? So BBB ratings. Okay? We give a rating on all businesses, whether you're accredited with us or not. All businesses can earn an A+ rating with the BBB, whether you're accredited or not. So if you're doing good business in the community, you're responsive to your complaints, you don't have a ton of them, you don't have patterns, you have the proper licensing that you're required to have, and you're doing just good advertising in general, generally speaking, you're in business about 3 or 4 years, you can earn an A+ rating with the BBB. Okay? If something's brought to our attention that's not meeting those standards, like if we have a file on a contractor and it's brought to our attention through processes that they're an unlicensed contractor, he can go from an A+ rating all the way down to an F rating the next day. It goes through a process. We reach out to the contractor, we ask him to prove that he's licensed or remove his advertising on services he's offering that needs a license. So we deal with this a lot and very frequently. But we believe in helping businesses. So sometimes contractors don't realize they're doing work that requires a license, so we educate them first. We ask them to go get the license that they're required to have, or remove the services they're advertising on their website or wherever they're advertising. If they do that, then they maintain their good rating with us. Unless a complaint came in and said, this guy did electrical work on my home and he's not a licensed electrician, then that would be a fact that would be identified and trigger a license review on that contractor. Same with any industry. So we report on all businesses, anyone from a coffee shop to a contractor to a real estate agent. Any business in our community can have a business profile. Virtually any business can apply for accreditation. We do have a certain list of type of business categories that are not eligible for accreditation. Those are usually your suspect industries that are out there. Payday loans, timeshare resales, industries that tend to generate issues and complaints and do unethical business practices in that case. All right, consumer reviews. So consumer reviews is fairly new to the BBB. It's been around a little over 10 years now. And we heard from our businesses that all you do is take the negative information with the complaints and you're only showing our unhappy customers saying things about us. And so we implemented customer reviews. The thing with customer reviews is you can't just ask customers to post a 5-star review only. It's a 1 to 5 star. So customer reviews could be unhappy customers posting a 1-star review. But as a business, just like you do with any other review site out there, you want to encourage your happy customers to post 5-star positive reviews on your BBB business profile that you created. And if you're in business at least, I think it's 4 years, you'll have an A+ rating. And then if you have a few 5-star reviews, these are all things that enhance your business profile and make you look good when people check you out. Our business profiles rank very high on the internet. We have a domain authority of, I think it's 98 out of 100. So we show up very high in search results. So if consumers are Googling your name, your business name, our business profile generally shows up very high in their organic results. It's information from BBB about your business. They may not even have BBB on mind. They would click on your profile, see that information about your business. And really what I love that sets us apart, if you ever go to your profile on a Yelp or any of these other review sites, it's very hard to read information about your business. It's riddled with lots of advertisements. It's drawing you away from your business unless you're advertising with them. When you go to a business profile on a business on bbb.org, it is specifically only about your business. They're not ads drawing you away from it. So it gives the consumer what they're looking for when they're doing that research. So with customer reviews, another thing that sets us apart from other review sites out there is we actually vet the reviews. And one of the elements that really sets BBB apart from other major corporations that do similar things that we do is that we are boots on the ground. We have the human element. You can actually pick up the phone and call your local Better Business Bureau, ask questions, dispute information, etc. So when consumers submit a customer review on other review sites, it goes up like 2 minutes later. With BBB, when a customer submits a customer review, we send it to you first, the business. We give you the opportunity to respond to the review or reject the review, claiming it's not your customer. Because sometimes we have angry people that didn't do business with you or ex-employees, different things like that. And if you dispute the review, we would go back to the customer and ask them to prove they were a customer of your business before that review goes live. And we also give you the opportunity to respond to that review before it goes live as well, so your response is on there. Ideally, your goal is to connect with your happy customers, encourage them to post 5-star positive reviews. If you get a 1-star review in your profile, it does not affect your rating, okay? Ratings and reviews are separate, they're like separate buckets. So the reason why it doesn't affect your rating is really all your rating is on a company. It represents our degree of confidence and how responsive a company is to their customers when they get a complaint issued. And a complaint goes through a dispute resolution process. There's mediation involved. We bring the parties together. We try to find a solution and resolution. In a review, it's a customer's opinion about your business, whether it's good or bad, and it just lays there. There's no process involved to seek a solution to the problem. You can respond to a negative review, but there's no commitment to that in the responsiveness of it. Does that make sense to everyone as far as the separation? So you could have companies with A+ ratings and average 2-star reviews. We actually see that a lot, unfortunately, with big major corporations like Verizon's, and just because unhappy customers just want to vent They were mad in the moment. They don't want a solution or resolution, but they just want to let people know they're unhappy with something. And so those go in the review bucket. But if the customer has a true problem with a company and they need our help to find a solution to the problem and go through a process, then that goes through the dispute resolution complaint process, gives the company the opportunity to respond, and then we close it based on the facts. So if the company does not respond at all or does not address the issues, that would be a negative closure. It would be closed as unanswered or unresolved. And those are factors that can lower a rating on the company. But if you're a company that responds to your customers, addresses the issues of the complaint, even if the customer walks away unhappy and says, no, I'm still unhappy with the outcome, it would still be closed in an answered matter, a positive outcome, because you did address the issues of the complaint. Because as we know, sometimes consumers complain, but it doesn't mean they get whatever they want when they complain. The goal is to mediate, find a win-win solution between both parties. Any questions on business profiles, dispute resolution, ratings, or customer reviews, and how that lies with BBB? Does that make sense how I explained it and presented it? Okay. So resources from the Better Business Bureau. We actually have a lot of business-centric resources for you. Again, whether you're accredited or not, these resources are available to you for free as a business in the community. We do have some dedicated resources that accredited businesses will get discounts, or accredited businesses receive through the accreditation program. We have a partnership with something called CE Forum Group. It's newsletters from CEOs. Oh, did I get that? Oh, I guess I don't have to go all the way over there. We have a partnership with Dell where accredited businesses get 15% off, things like that. Get a quote, we'll talk about that, and the use of our seal. But we have a lot of content writers in Better Business Bureau. It's part of my job is writing content as well. We write content on business tips. We write content a lot on scams, how to avoid scams. That's how we help consumers and businesses avoid scams, is get different information out there in the community and help warn and educate consumers and businesses. And then we write a lot of content on trust, because our mission is to be the leader in advancing marketplace trust. So everything we do surrounds itself around trust, integrity, doing things the right way, ethics, honesty. That's what we stand for as an organization. So these are resources at bbb.org/business. A lot of content. It's everywhere from someone thinking about starting a business, talks about how to create an LLC, how to start your business, marketing. Very general topics, very short and sweet information, just to help guide you as a business and get the ball rolling. And then we do have partnerships with several chambers of commerce, like we have here at Dunedin, the Jim Moran Institute, SCORE, SBDC. We work very closely with many of those organizations to help guide businesses to that next level, because they're the experts on really coming in and consulting you and taking your business to that next level. So if a business calls upon us asking, sometimes we're that central place where we get calls from businesses saying, I have this information, we'll help guide them to some degree, and then we may defer them to an organization that can help them better. I'm partnered with SCORE. I've been a subject matter expert resource with SCORE for over 10 years now. We're really working closely with SCORE to kind of bring workshops into the BBB as well, so we can offer those services direct to businesses. But we tell businesses it's kind of the ABCs of doing business. Companies should be involved in their local trade associations, their local Better Business Bureau, and their local chambers of commerce. We think that's important for businesses to be a part of their community, be invested in their community, and those are the businesses that are going to thrive and are part of the marketplace there. Okay. Does it go back this way? Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I wonder if you swipe it. I don't know.
Could I ask you a question, please?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm very familiar with SCORE and SBDC, and I also, I was a corporate banker, was a subject matter expert and volunteer with SCORE for many, many years. So great organization. I'm not familiar with the third organization.
So the Jim Moran Institute, they're actually based out of FSU. They have locations all throughout the state of Florida. They do very similar services as SCORE and SBDC. They have classes. Their hub locally is in Tampa. and they have where you can take like leadership classes or business classes and get a certificate. They provide very similar resources. It's a great organization. They'll have an annual conference every year where they bring businesses to, just like SBDC. They're going to be down in Port Charlotte in August. SBDC has a big annual conference event where we're a sponsor of.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about customer reviews more in depth in that one as well.
Excellent, thank you.
Yes.
What does SCORE stand for again?
It's always hard because they, something of retirement. So basically SCORE, I don't remember the acronym to be honest with you. They don't really use it much.
Right. Because what it was and what it is are two
Yeah,
different things.
It's kind of, yeah. So they're basically mostly retired people that have either owned a business or been very successful in running a major corporation or a business, and they want to give back and help local small businesses in the community. I love SCORE. I think they're great people. They're very humble. They just want to help. They are not-for-profit. Everything they do is a free service to you as a business person. You can get a SCORE mentor. They're local in this community. Or if you find a mentor you connect with, you can connect with one online as well, because they have a hub of mentors all throughout the United States. And basically, they have workshops you can go to about lean canvas and writing a business plan, all the way to marketing and AI and all that kind of stuff. They provide a lot of great services, but a mentor can sit down with you or consult with you over the phone and just really go through your business and hone in on things and help you budget better. And one of the gentlemen at the last meeting I went to was mentoring a successful boat builder here in Pinellas County, $28 million a year, and still needed a mentor to take his business to the next level. And what he told him and he realized was this business owner was too involved in his business, that he needs to find people that he can trust and believe in to handle certain things in his business, and he needs to sit back and hone in on his financials and his numbers and things like that. So that was like a story he shared with me just last week about it. So great organization. All of them are great. Jim Moran, SBDC, SCORE, Chambers of Commerce, always great resources as well. It's nice to see that there's so many organizations in Florida. Just a little back history on our office. Our Better Business Bureau office started as a Chamber of Commerce. I think it was like Suncoast Chamber of Commerce. Our past president, Patricia White, worked in Chamber of Commerce, ran that Chamber of Commerce back in the 1980s when BBB came down to her and asked to open like a BBB satellite office at the time. And then she branched off and opened a specific BBB office, and how here we are 25 years later. We have 40 employees. We own our own building. We're right here in Clearwater. We're a very good, financially sound organization, and our president is very invested in the community and believes in partnering with organizations to do better for businesses. And that's one thing I don't think a lot of businesses know, is that we're here to support businesses. Again, that misnomer, that white elephant, every businesses kind of stand off from us because they think, oh, BBB, are they going to try and find something wrong with me? Or they only handle complaints. So we definitely want to overcome that with businesses and let you know that we are a resource for you. We're here to help you, and we're here to guide the right businesses in the right direction. Now, if you are a bad actor and you're doing things wrong, and after we've given you the chance to do something right, you're going to get an F rating with us. You're going to get an alert in your file. We're going to warn people about you, because that's what consumers come to us for. And that's why we report on all businesses. So I think I had the numbers up earlier. 1.4 million. I didn't really cover that too detailed. Let me come on this side. That's a little better. No, more. 6 million profiles on non-accredited businesses. We have 380,000 accredited businesses. And then this 25 at a glance is specific to our BBB office. So locally, we have 6,000 accredited businesses, and I think our profiles are over 100,000 in West Florida. Okay, so we report on all businesses, whether you're accredited with us or not. To have a business profile is a free service to you as a business. Okay, so know that that is a resource for you. The reason why we do this is because if consumers came to us to check on a business and we only had a database of 380,000, and they didn't get information on the business they were actually looking for, they're not gonna come back to us. It's kind of that, I tell people it's like the phone book back in the day. Remember the phone book had every business in the phone book, and then the ones that advertised were highlighted and had bigger ads and things like that. Well, no one's gonna look in the phone book, it was just ads only. So the phone book provided kind of all the resources for consumers. So we have all the information. Most of those 6 million business non-ABs, percentage-wise, are A-rated companies. Most businesses are good quality businesses that people can trust. We're gonna talk about accreditation here in a minute. Accreditation is just taking it to the next level and the commitment, okay? So we're gonna get into that now. All right, so BBB accreditation. The first thing I want to ask, because we're testing a rebranding of the BBB brand and logo and revitalizing the brand. Out of these two logos down here, accredited business, how many like this one better over the other one?
I like the right one better.
Like the right one better? So about half? You guys like this one better?
I like that one.
So this is the new one they're testing. Now keep in mind, you can kind of add A+ to this. Businesses do it. We don't have a trademark one. But yeah, this is kind of the new one coming. So right now, you're going to see this on vehicles, on advertisements, and emails, on websites. But forward thinking, you may start seeing this change. This is going to be the new brand coming out. Okay, so BBB accreditation, what is it? Okay, this is how we get our support, how we get our funding. Businesses do pay a fee, just like you pay a fee to the Chamber of Commerce to be a member. The difference is BBB has standards, so you can't just pay a fee and be accredited. You actually have to apply for it first. You would apply, we would vet you against our standards, we'll go over those in the next slide. And then if you meet those standards and you make a signed commitment to the standards to follow them and agree by them, and if you don't, you can actually lose your accreditation and drop down to an F rating because you did not commit to those standards and follow through. So you have something to lose. Then you can be accredited, and yes, you pay the fee. You're basically paying the fee for the rights to use that logo to let people know that I'm accredited, okay? If you're not accredited and you have an A+ rating, you cannot use our logo. It's trademarked. Companies all the time will have our logo on their website. They're not accredited. We can actually have their website shut down in extreme cases. We do logo violations, etc., and ask them to remove it because it's misinformation. Now, if you're not accredited and you do have an A+ rating, you can make a factual statement saying we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, the words. Okay, so you are allowed to do that, but as an accredited business, it gives you use of the seal and the logo. Okay, you have to requalify each year. So you apply, you meet our standards, you're approved. Before we invoice you for renewal next year, we take a look at your standards. We have checklists that our team goes through. We recheck licensing, we recheck your advertising. We're going to go over that in a second. Privacy policy is a big thing in our standards. We look for business tax receipts, all the things that you're required to have to do business in the community. You wouldn't believe how many businesses that we talk to and apply that are not properly registered with the state of Florida, do not have a local business tax receipt, do not have proper licensing, and just are missing a lot of things within their business. A lot of those are simple and easy things for them to resolve, and those are the businesses we want to help and guide, and when they get there, then they earn accreditation, and then that's when they start paying their dues. Okay, their annual dues, they're renewed each year. The average dues for a small business is $600 a year. It's an escalating scale. The larger your business gets, you pay a little more money each year. You are rated the same as a non-accredited business. So you don't get a bump in your rating because you're accredited. It just doesn't look good. We have to treat, one thing we're really focus on is being neutral and independent and providing the same information based on the facts for both accredited and non-accredited businesses and providing that resource to consumers to make an informed decision. Okay?
I might just, because you'll probably appreciate this.
Yeah.
So I relocated here 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was a member up in Spokane, Washington, the BBB, the Great Pacific.
Okay.
And when I relocated here, one of the nice things about I'm really going to here, I'm already accredited, was the person here walked me through, did you do this? Because when you do that, when you get to Florida, did you do this?
Yeah.
Did you do this? Did you do this?
Mhm.
That was really nice.
'Cause, yeah, Florida is a lot more strict on rules and standards. Another thing that we do is, if there's a bad actor coming from another state, and kind of shutting business down and restarting in Florida, which is very common, especially in the construction world, we have a national database, so we follow the owners of companies. And if you did bad business under another company name and just shut it down and had unresolved complaints, we will not, so you may have a decent rating with us, because the ratings does not say it affects your rating of your new business, but it would affect, that's an example of a standard of accreditation. It would affect you being eligible for accreditation, because we would vet you, we would do more in-depth research. Again, remember, 6 million profiles, we can't research every business in our database. It's only based on the facts coming into us from consumers and triggers that warn us. But accredited business, the 380,000, we vet, verify, we do thorough scrubbing, and they get approved through a process, okay? The other thing about complaints I didn't point out, just to point out, is complaints are only on a company's profile for a 3-year reporting period. It doesn't stay on your profile forever. So kind of like a credit rating. If a company went through a bad season, sometimes we see it's change of ownership or handed down to children or something went wrong in the company. If a company proves themselves over time, they can earn a rating too. We have companies that have unresolved complaints, have low ratings with us. They come to us, they're like, we want to get a better rating. We want to improve our business. We sit down with many companies, even large major corporations in our community that have unresolved complaints, and we work with them. We work with their customer service team, and we help them improve their rating, because they have to have at least a B rating or higher first, even to talk about accreditation. And then when we talk about accreditation and they apply, then we vet them against all those standards. Okay. Any other questions on that aspect? Thanks for bringing that up. That's one thing that, again, we're a network of 90 offices throughout North America. So we work together to really track down either bad actors or help the good guys find place and foothold in the new place they come to. How are we on time?
You got 20 minutes.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
So these are our standards in a nutshell. They drive in much deeper, but as you'll see, a consistency with our standards. Build trust, the root of BBB, how we started, advertise honestly. We actually have a booklet called the BBB Code of Advertising. It's a booklet. It talks about, bait and switch advertising, buy one, get one free ads. Wholesale pricing is a big one we deal with, where companies will advertise wholesale prices. But our standard says, our code of advertising says, you actually have to manufacture the product to advertise as a wholesaler. It's very misleading if you're not actually the manufacturer of the product. So that's a big advertising issue we deal with locally. Tell the truth, be transparent. This is a big challenge and a big tip we give to consumers with websites, with the internet world. Scams are riddled on the internet with online websites. As you said, people can create a website easy. Scammers know this with the use of AI. We get so many scam tracker reports of websites claiming to have an address in Florida, claiming to sell products online, and it's just a fake company. Nothing exists. They either do not mail the product to the consumer, or another scam was called counterfeit goods. The product that they mail to them is counterfeit. It's inferior. It's not what was advertised. Because then it's harder for the consumer to dispute the credit card charge because they were delivered something. They don't know what was advertised. So a lot of scammers will advertise, like around Christmas time, it's a big uptick in quilts, handmade quilts, and people think they're buying these couple $100 quilts, and it's like a small little generic. It's amazing what. Right now we're talking about what's called
Poster.
Yeah, it's like it's not what was presented and advertised. There's another one we have. We get a lot of complaints on, like yard stuff and sheds, and people thinking buying this big shed they're going to ship to their home for like $50, and it's nothing. It's like a tinker thing. The big thing we're warning about now is what's called the American 250 scam. So a lot of websites are advertising. People are all about proud and support America and celebrate and 250-year anniversary. They're advertising products of 250-year anniversary. It looks all nice and real glass and all, and when they get it, it's like a little tinker thing, and it's junk. It's plastic, it's garbage. But the way it's presented, usually all this is on social media. We're seeing that a lot. People are on their social media feed, they're scrolling, they see it, it looks real nice and legitimate, they click on the link, they go to a website, they don't even know what website they're on. They make a purchase because it's easy, and it's not even a company, it's usually based overseas, and there's no way to track them. Or whatever information they have on the website is fake. Honor your promises. Be responsive to your customers. This is the part where you have to answer your complaints. Safeguard privacy is a big one. So safeguard privacy is the most common standard that companies have to meet in order to earn accreditation with their website. So a privacy policy on your website telling your customers what are you doing with their information. This is very important nowadays. So that's where a web person can really help you with that. We give you a sample one to utilize, but terms and conditions, privacy policies, all these things are very important, especially on your website, so consumers trust you more. They know what you're doing with your information. What are you going to do if I fill out this form online? I had a mortgage, when I was working in sales for accreditation, I had a mortgage company applying for accreditation, met all the standards, no complaints, no issues, but on his website he was taking applications to apply for a mortgage. Amongst the questions were a social security number, all your personal information, and it wasn't done on a secure transaction. There wasn't that HTTPS. He didn't want to spend the time or money to deal with it, so we had to deny his accreditation over something like that. That's the thorough research that we do. We look at things that consumers normally don't look for, and that's what our accredited business seal represents, is that we've done that homework for the consumer and verified the information. Okay? And embody integrity. So these standards align with all good businesses, most businesses, but definitely if you're a business that wants to do good by your customers, it represents honest integrity, transparency, doing the right thing. That's what your accreditation stands for. If these words resonate with you, that's what your accreditation represents. Okay. This is from a survey, research survey we did. We're doing one right now to update it. But how BBB accreditation benefits my business and increases the credibility, shows integrity, builds customer trust, increases my visibility, shows we care about our customer. Notice those words. It doesn't say, gave me more leads, we do that. We have benefits that it's called Get a Quote as an accredited business where it can send leads to you. We're not a lead generation company. We're an organization where accreditation stands for strong quality words and commitments about your business, what your business stands for. And you'll see that that's what most businesses want when they have accreditation with us. They're not investing in a lead generation company. Okay. All right, let's talk about scams. We're going to shift gears here. So before Scam Tracker came about, it's been over 10 years now, so scams are usually not businesses, but they present themselves as a business. They usually steal the identity of legitimate businesses. I've had a handyman gentleman, Gambino Handyman Services in Tampa, Florida, back when baby food was hard to get, right? Remember that when it was scarce? So a website was created called Bambino.com or Gambino.com, and it was claiming to sell baby formula and doing a lot of advertising on social media. And at the bottom of the website had this gentleman's business name with his LLC, his address, claiming to be the business, which handyman service has nothing to do with selling baby formula online. It sold other products online as well. It was a scam website, and they stole the identity of this legitimate local business in Tampa. Poor gentleman, it was so bad because moms got so upset with coming to his home and knocking on his door saying, "Where's my baby formula?" He had to get involved with law enforcement. He ended up having to shut his corporation down and reincorporate under a new name and shift it lightly because he dealt with so much challenges over that. We got tons of complaints, got flooded with Gambino.com, reported about it, F rating, an alert. That's what we do when there's bad actors, to warn people. So if people do what we tell them to do and check the company out first, they wouldn't have tried to buy this baby formula. And then what we do for legitimate businesses, we'll create a separate profile. So it was just in the news recently as well. A local real estate company was being impostered on another scam. I forgot the whole exact situation, but it was like they sold mobile homes in the community, and scammers are advertising on social media, stealing their name, and claiming to sell these homes online. And we're seeing a lot of it now. A lot of local small businesses, their names are being impostered, they're stealing your identity. It's not much recourse as there is for consumers with identity theft. So what we do as an organization is we will create a profile in the legitimate business. We'll put an alert in there warning people, this is not the scam, this is a legitimate business. And we create a separate profile on the scam. And if they file a complaint, it's going on the scam profile, it's not going under the legitimate business profile. So we do things to separate the two, especially when they're impostering a legitimate business. Amazon is like the #1 most imposter business. We've all probably received text messages. You have this purchase on Amazon, click here. That's just what's called a smishing scam, where they're trying to get you to click on a link and then download or give information on a landing page that they created. So with that, we created Scam Tracker. Scam Tracker is a tool because these scams need to be tracked right away. If it goes through a complaint, it takes time, processes, etc. People report scams to us to Scam Tracker, businesses and consumers. We get the information right away. Again, the human element, we vet them. Our office alone receives about 40 a day. Unfortunately, in the consumer world, if the consumer was wronged by a legitimate business, they all think everything's a scam. So sometimes consumers report a complaint to Scam Tracker, so we have to say, no, this is not a scam. We go back to the consumer and says, file it as a complaint against this legitimate business. But we still process half of those, even more, to Scam Tracker. And within 24 to 48 hours, that report to us is live on Scam Tracker and reported to consumers. I actually pulled up to give you an idea of numbers for Florida, because we have a heat map in Scam Tracker. So Florida is ranked #3 out of 51 locations in the U.S. with total reports of scams. 41,133 Scam Trackers have been reported to in Florida, with total losses of $46.2 million to consumers and businesses that have reported. A median loss of $143. Top scams, the top one is online purchase scams. That's the one we hear about mostly. So Scam Tracker was created to be a resource for consumers and businesses, to be a citizen hero, report it, help warn others. The best defense against a scam is to be aware of them, know that they exist, and how to avoid them. So if you or someone you know has been subject to a scam, even if you didn't fall victim to it, this is a tool that you can use to report it and at least get the word out and help warn others. And we really want to encourage small businesses as a business, if you're subject to a scam, as a business person, report them as well. This is not just a consumer product. This is also a business product. I'm going to talk about a report we just launched in 2025. We also have a prevention guide within Scam Tracker. So you can go there before any scams happen to you. You can take quizzes, there's resources, there's all our tips, there's videos. The best defense against a scam is knowing about them, know they exist, being aware of them, signing up for alerts, just being in the know about scams, because scams can happen to everyone and anyone. Doesn't matter how smart you are, your age demographic, scams go after everyone and everyone. There's always this big stigma of, oh, scams only happen to older people and poorly educated. That's not true. Scams happen to everyone. They're even happening more to our youth now, because they don't really do the research, they're not aware everything's online now, and they're being victimized by scams. Older people lose higher dollar value. Younger folks just lose less money per scam, but they're still losing money to scams and being victimized. And then if you are the victim of a scam or survivor of the scam, we like to say, we have what's called a Scam Survival Toolkit. So then you can come to us, fill out questions and answers, the type of scam it was, did you lose your identity, did you lose money? We also address mental health as well, how is it affecting you mentally? And then when you go through those questions and answers, we provide you with resources on how to recover from that scam you were victimized by. Where to go, how to protect your identity, whatever the case may be. Those resources are there for you as a business or a consumer. So this gives you the impact of Scam Tracker. Over 700,000 scams reported to BBB Scam Tracker on a national level. 44.7% of people visited to determine whether they were experiencing a scam. You wouldn't believe we have our office, again, 40 employees. We have a staff of people that man phones Monday through Friday from 9 to 4. And we have to bluntly tell people, no ma'am, this is a scam. Do not send a check. Do not go to a crypto ATM machine and put money in. And do not go to Walgreens and get $200 in gift cards and read the numbers off the back. So we're here as a resource to help people and help keep them from falling victim to a scam. I had a lady that called me directly. She was in Port Charlotte, and she thought she won money from a sweepstakes and transferred, I think it was $10,000 or $20,000 to another account that they had her do, and was calling me just to double check. Just said, oh, and was getting ready to send the scammer money, and I had to tell her, do not. And she hung up the phone crying, thanking me for telling her not to do that. So people really believe what they want to believe, and they will lose money to scammers. 30.6% said BBB Scam Tracker helped them from avoid losing money. 130 is the median US dollar amount saved. 43 million amount people avoided losing thanks to Scam Tracker. This is the type of thing, along with a lot of other resources we have, that when you're accredited with us and you're paying your dues, that's why you're paying dues, to support these services that we provide to the community. The money you're paying is not to pay for accreditation. You have to earn that first. And it's to support our mission and our vision to the marketplace so we can do the work that we do and continue to do more work in the community. So that shifted on me. Okay, let's talk about this business scam study. So again, not everything we do is just for consumers. We take information. I told you about the business resources that we have to help your business grow, marketing, whatever the case may be. Everything from A to Z in your business is on that bbb.org/business resource page. What was that? This is scam studies, if you're trying to read that, yeah. So scam studies is just a direct link to all the studies we've done, all in-depth studies. When we get reports in Scam Tracker, we have a team of people that research scams, look at FTC, look at all the data trends, and then do in-depth research on a particular scam that's out there. Right now, because of what this presentation is about, I'm going to focus on business scams against businesses. There's online puppy scams, where our research found that 80% of online ads at the top of Google are fake websites selling fake puppies that do not exist, that people fall for thousands of dollars for. Scammers can operate just like legitimate businesses. They can advertise at the top of Google. They can advertise on social media. We even have them go to the extreme where they're filed the state of Florida as a corporate entity. They make themselves look very legitimate, okay? So it's very hard to see the difference in a lot of cases. And you know, they're taking advantage of both consumers and businesses. So with BBB Scam Tracker study, over 3,600 businesses scam reports to BBB since 2022. The losses are in the billions annually across North America, and scams affect businesses of every size. No one's immune. I guess I'll bring it up since we're here. As we all know, the city of Dunedin was a victim of a vendor scam, a fake vendor, where they didn't have protocols in place to verify a shift in vendors, and some guy just called and had them change their ACH payments to this scammer that was in another state. He ended up getting caught and arrested, but the city lost some money from that. So again, anyone can be vulnerable. Government agencies, local small businesses, large corporations. No one is immune to scams. And as a business, do you have protocols in place to help protect yourself from a scam should it present yourself to your business? A very common scam to small businesses, especially a lot of like food trucks or people that rely on electricity, is called a utility scam, where Duke Energy will call you and say you haven't paid your electric bill for your business, and if you don't pay now with usually a gift card or crypto, again, they use these techniques to get money from you. So crypto, debit cards, because it's not traceable. And you pay them because you don't want your business shut down. You're in the middle of a rush. Usually they call you in the middle of rush hour. And you pay them, or your employee pays them. They didn't check with the boss, and they gave money to a scammer, not to Duke Energy. And as we all know, Duke Energy would never do that. Yes.
My husband was on the line last week, and he was, I don't know, he was trying to pay something that someone told him he was supposed to pay. And the guy's like, I'm gonna send you a link. Open this link and then go to your bank account and open your bank account so you can send money like via Zelle to us, you know? And he was like one step from opening up the bank account. Like it was share your screen with me, that kind of thing. So he shared his screen, and he was like one step away from opening his bank account. I was like, don't do it, man, don't do it. The guy's like, I can't see your bank account, don't worry about it. I'm like, you just clicked on the share your screen, don't do it, hang up right now. The guy's like, you need to like do this because otherwise I'm gonna lose my job. He started to get really frantic, and I was like, hurry up, hang up, like do not do this.
Yeah,
It was
it's,
so wild. And he's an intelligent man, I just, like.
it can happen
It's
to anyone. If they
it's
catch you in the
crazy.
moment,
Yeah.
scammers play on emotions, right?
Yeah.
So if there's emotion involved, they're really gonna play on that. They're gonna get you to do things. Kind of say it's just like a good car salesperson, right? They're gonna put you in the car, make you drive it, create that emotion,
Buy timeshare.
and legitimately sell you the car. They're legitimate. We don't call them scams, but scammers operate very similar, and that's how they take advantage. So the study is BBB imposters, stolen data, and fake services. What the study found is business scams are widespread and evolving. 4.9 million average cost of a data breach, which is obviously a big scam we all hear about. All these data breaches, it costs lots of money. As a small business, it can ruin your business. So are you learning about, which there's a lot of workshops and services out there on how to protect your business and how to mostly train your employees. A lot of data breach and issues are untrained employees that receive an email, click on the link, and then it downloads malware into your company computers. They have access to your client's information, and then they hold you hostage and make you pay a ransom to get that information back. And then you as a small business have to decide, do I want to pay this ransom to protect my data? The advice is usually don't pay it because they're not going to unprotect your data. They'll still take advantage of you. Business email compromises in the billions, and this kind of snapshot of reports. So not only is our data taken from Scam Tracker, but we also go to FBI because we do serve Canada as well. We have offices in Canada. We pull data from the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center as well. In your packet, you have red flags, tips, and resources to prevent business scams, and a how-to guide for dealing with scams targeting a business. And then again, if you want to read in depth, the study is like 12 or 15 pages long. It goes in depth into the study, so you can read more information. You have my contact information up here. This is a link to our Get Listed page. It's not for accreditation. It's just to list your business on BBB website. So if you don't have a profile with us, you can scan this. It will take you to the page to type in your business information, and you'll get listed with BBB. We probably will call you for accreditation at some point in time, but it's not a direct application. I'll end it there and open it for more questions.
Perfect.
Are we good on time?
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Anyone have any questions? I think you guys were kind of asking things as we
Throughout.
went. Yeah, thank you so much, Brian. We so appreciate you for being here. So good to know our resources as business owners.